Hi everyone, today we're doing London Bridge on TryHackMe, so let's get the IP address and do a Rust scan. So let's do Rust scan -A, let's replace the IP address with this, and the -A will put it into Nmap for an aggressive scan. So let's just let this scan first of all. We can see we have two ports open, SSH and AT web server, so let's grab this IP address and put it into the web browser. We can see we have a web page called Explore London, which is very interesting. We get a homes, gallery and a contact. We could first have a look at the contact page and see if we can do anything. So we're going to do script-alert, then we're just going to put hi or whatever, anything will do. We're just going to close this and we're going to close it with a script tag. We're going to see if we have cross-site scripting or anything, if we can put anything to the page. Let's just put at Gmail or whatever. Doesn't even need to be that good, just put it like that. And let's see. We can see this gets reflected to the page, which can make us think that we have reflected cross-site scripting, which means we can like make it run on the server side or whatever, or start cross-site scripting, maybe steal some cookies of a user or whatever, maybe an admin. But I went down this rabbit hole and it took me like a long time to figure out that I was getting nowhere. So I'm just gonna leave this alone because everything that I did was just take way too long for this video and it didn't work. So next thing I went was the gallery. The gallery was very interesting, as I thought I could upload a reverse shell. We can see here as well, we get a comment to devs make sure that people can also add images using links. This can come in handy later on, but we can see it handed in as a JPEG or PNG, so we know we can upload like files or anything. So one thing, I'm gonna close this anyway, because we already know what's there. One thing that I did, you can see here, I tried to mess around with the extensions with the revshell.php and jpg.php, which you can see that I've tried to mess about with it and try to get something uploaded. But if you go to downloads, and pretty much I tried to do this with Netcat and I think it uploaded it, but you can see here, uploaded file is not an image, so I physically can't really mess about with that. So this let me down a rabbit hole where I tried to get a reverse shell within an image, but that took me a long time and I got nowhere. So the next thing I did that actually did work, which is a bit of a surprise for me at least, I used GoBuster. So you can see the word list I use, medium.txt. So I did dirbuster u for URL and I put the URL in. And you can see the word list here, directory medium list.txt. So I'm just going to let this run for a bit. This will take a while, I'm pretty sure, because last time I did it, it took like a good 3 minutes to find the thing. So I'm not going to waste your time, so I'm going to be back. So guys, I'm back. You can see here that we have a thing here called Deja View, which is kind of a funny name. So this is in the root directory, so let's remove /gallery and put this in. So we can try to put in a URL, maybe just put in this URL here and put 80 to see if we have anything. We can see this also changed as well, which shows that this was a redirect. So we have a view image instead of Deja View, and we say user provided an image. So this looks like there's no validation at all for this, so they may have skipped validation. So we can see here image.source, so it's not even like really doing any checking at all, which is really good for us. As we can see here, it doesn't look like there's anything checking at all, just the image form, and we can see here method not allowed, but this hasn't really came up at all. So this got me excited. I thought maybe we could gain access to the system, so we've done that. So let's close this now. We don't need you open anymore. So let's go to Burp Suite. So now what we want to do is just get the URL and see. I'm going to close this. I should really update, but I digress. So we're going to enter a URL, and since it didn't form any validation, we may be able to do some server-side request for forgery, which means we can pretty much send data as the server, which is very bad. So we're pretty much running as www data or whatever the server is running as. So let's just put in the IP of 39. The IP address is here. So let's just press view and we can see we got it in Burp Suite. So we want to send this to a repeater so we can see what's happening. So we want to press send. We can see image URL and we can see it's URL encoded as well. So we can see that it's providing data like we did earlier. So we know what we have. We have a URL image that is taking data. So another thing we could do is just do some further enumeration on the system. So we could do something else like fuff. You can see here that I've done this earlier, but we're gonna use a different method. So you can see I used the IP address and sec list as well, but I will explain more of this later because I want to explain this because when I did this originally I really struggled with this bit, but I want to explain it in a better way for you all to understand. So we're going to put this in, and we want to put in our word list, which will be user share sec list, actually, my apologies, sec list. And we want to put discovery web content, and we want to put in next raft small words. Raft, I think it's small words. Yeah, it looks like I am right, luckily. So the next bit we're going to put in is, if you go back to Burp Suite, we can see here content type length, which is what we want to use for H. So this is going to be like the content length we're going to send. So we're going to tell this is like a URL encoded web form to know that this is all going to need to be URL encoded. And the next we're going to need to send our request type, which is a post request. You can see here post. So we're not using get or whatever, it's a post request, which is really important, as if you put this wrong, it's not going to work. And the next thing we're going to need to do is put the data that we're actually going to send. So since we want to check for any sub parameters within the website, we want to grab this and let's steal this data and use it in our own malicious, well, ethically malicious way, if that's a word. So it's not being nice to me, so I'm just going to copy this and put this in. And the one thing we want to change is we want to make this www. Actually, we don't want to put this at www, that's a bit foreshadowing later. So we want to pretty much put in fuzz. We've got fuzz in and we're just going to let this run. And we can see we're getting a bunch of subdomains, like a bunch of random trash. So we want to filter, let's filter by size, filter size. I'm going to do it lowercase. I don't think it makes a difference, but we're going to put 100, well, 823, and let's press enter. And we get straight away a subdomain of www data. So this tells us multiple things, that there is another domain, and maybe this domain has better, will allow us to access behind the scenes. So we could try send data like this. So we can see we get an internal server error 500, and we can see we get the server could not encounter an internal error, which shows that we do have a server, well, request forgery. So we can do localhost and see, can we access anything on this machine, maybe on port 80 or whatever. So let's do this and see what happens. We see we have permission denied. So we might need to bypass this. I know a bypass which we could use, but I'm going to show you where I found it. So we can do SSRF URL format bypass. So we can see payload all the things. But the one I used was, I think it was Hacker Recipes. But probably has it in payload all the things, as that's a really good one as well. So if we go down, we can see we have some alternatives. But the one I want to use is blacklist input filters. So this may not have been filtered. So let's get back on Burp Suite and let's change this to HTTP and let's change this to AT. Can we access another web server within the web server? Which sounds a bit weird. We can see we do. And if we render this, your OS does not support Burp Suite enable, so I need to enable. So let's go to settings. This might be good, you might not have it enabled as well. So we're just going to go settings, Burp Suite browser, and we're going to allow it to run without sandbox. So let's go back to that pretty thing and let's go back to render, and this is going to take a while to render, and we can see London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. So we have access to another server now, which is very interesting, as we may be able to do some more like enumeration on the machine. So we know we have another vulnerable server, so we can use fuff again. Let me check if this is the right IP address. Yeah, it is. So from before, our last command, let's remove this as the content length may be different. We're going to change all this and we're going to instead do www equals and the data here. So let's grab this data, let's put this in and let's change it. We want to like fuzz for subdomains. So let's do fuzz and let's just press enter and see what happens. We get a bunch of random crap as well. So we can see if we do filter size 469 and let's press enter and we're just going to let this run for a bit. We can see we're getting some templates and an upload for the upload seems very interesting, as we may be able to get some more information from that. But since we have some access to the server, we may be able to see something else. I'm gonna let this run for a bit, and actually no need, since we have SSH here. So let's go back here and let's do SSH and let's press send. What can we see? We get an authorized key and an ID RSA. ID RSA seems very interesting, as we may be able to log in as a user through SSH. Let's do ID RSA and we get an ID RSA key. So let's just copy this first of all to continue our enumeration against this machine. So we also have a bash history as well, which is very interesting. So we might check out bash history as well. So let's do nano ID RSA. Let's paste this in and let's save this. We want to change this to 600, as this is what we need for SSH. We don't know the user though, that's one good question, we do not know. So if we go back a directory and we'll be able to see unauthorized keys, which may be a folder which you can enumerate. So let's go back here, paste this in, let's press send this off, and let's see what we get. We get a user Beth, so we know this is Beth's key. So since we know this is Beth's key, we could log in as her. So let's do ID, well, SSH-I, and we want to change this IP address to the IP address here, origin IP address for T. So let's put this in, let's enter this in, and we see we are connecting to this machine whether we get access, which we do. So let's first of all find the user flag. So if you do find, I think it's slash for the whole system, and the type of file we want will be, it's a file, yeah, it'll be a file, username.txt, and if we use name user.txt, and now we want to send all the random stuff to dev null, which is this pretty much the waste bin of the file system. So we can see there is no, so where have I messed up? So find type user share name user.txt, no such file. Oh wait, no wonder, I need another slash, silly me. So we're just gonna let this run for a bit. This is taking a while, but while that's running, we might as well check out what was here. So let's just send London Bridge My Fair Lady. It's for, and we can see we have user.txt, so let's just cut that out instead. So we got that done and dusted, which is pretty cool. So now you can put in the user.txt, but for me, I've already done this room, so I don't really need to put it in. So let's close Burp Suite. We don't really need that anymore. If we do ls, and let's go, we need to run linpeas. So I'm gonna go user share linpeas. If you don't have linpeas installed, you can do sudo apt install peas. Yeah, that's the syntax to install linpeas. And we want to create a Python server on part 8000. We want to where get this over, but first of all, we need to go to temp directory. We want to do where.10.10, I think it's 21 51 80 8000. You can see this is my IP address up here, my OpenVPN IP address. Let's go to linpeas. Linpeas, that's sh, and we can see we got this downloaded. We can check on our end, yes we have. So let's go back and change this to executable. So we gave it the executable permission. Let's run linpeas. So let me go back a space and let's do linpeas.sh and let this run. We can see linpeas is running. So I'm gonna let this run and we will let this scan run for a bit, and we can see we have something very interesting here. We have a CVE. There are a couple of CVEs above this, but I've run them the first time I've done the machine, and I wasn't really able to like privilege escalate with those two other ones. So we're just gonna use this CVE here. So we're gonna use CVE, and we're gonna try to find this on GitHub, as GitHub is a pretty good source. And this is where I found the exploit originally. We can see there's a bunch here, but the one we're gonna use is this one here, kernel exploits. So we're gonna let this load up, and there are a couple of things we want to get from this machine. So we want to get this folder here. So let's just download the raw folder. So let's download this data. This is downloading, which is good. And the next one we really want is cell.c. So we're gonna download that, and the root.shell. I think root.shell's here, so we're gonna download this here and get that downloaded. Next we want to get, I think it's a bus, yeah, bus.d.sh, which is like the 3 things that we just need to download. So let's download these. So we got them free now on our machine. So if we break out of this and go back to, let's just exit out of root. First of all, we're in downloads. We can see we have them all downloaded here. So we need to transport them to our victim's machine. So we want to do -m Python server, and let's where get them over. Yeah, we are back. So let's do where get 10. Well, let's put the IP address in if I can type. So we're gonna put in -8000. That's the part it's on, and not linpeas. It's force of habit. So we're gonna pretty much just grab all these and lob them in. So that one is gone. So we're just gonna need to do this 4 times. It's a bit monotonous, I guess you could say, doing this. I don't know if there's a more effective way, but this is just the way I did it the first time, and it's the way I'm doing it right now. So we've got that, and I think there's one more, yeah, exploit.bus.sh. So let's put this in. We got that. That's the third one, and let's do exploit.dbus.sh. So let's get this, put that in, cool, put enter, and we got that done. So we can do bash exploit.bus. Hopefully this will work. So let's just see. It's a good sign compiling. So we are getting somewhere, and we can see we're in as root, which shows you how simple this was. So that is the simple part, doing it. Now we're gonna need to do the way more complicated part, which is getting the last user's password. So we're gonna find, actually let's just get a root first. Root ls. We can see we get a flag.py for cat. Flag.py. We can just get some random base64, but there is an easier way if you do ls.ls. I'm pretty sure if you convert this from base64 through cyberchef, you probably will get the flag. But I just saw it was a CTF and they'd be a bit sneaky about it, so I did ls.la and I found this flag here. So let's put this into the machine. Oh yeah, no need, I've already done this room to begin with. But now it says down here we need a child's password. So what is the password of Charles? So let's cd back, do ls, cd home, and let's cat Charles. And if we do ls-la, we can see we have a Mozilla folder. What this tells us, there could be a password here or a Mozilla profile of Charles. So if you do cd Firefox and we do ls, we can see we have Charles. So one of the things we'll need to do now is just copy this over. So to do that, we're gonna need to compress this. So we just want to back out of this first of all, and we want to do tar. and we want to do CVZF, and we want to move this to the temp folder, pretty much temp Firefox, as this is where we're going to have write permissions. So we're going to save this as Firefox. So actually, I think we need to be in the Mozilla folder. I shouldn't have exited out of the Mozilla folder. So we're going to need to do this again. So we're going to do tar cvzf temp Firefox. That's where we're going to save the file as tar.gz, as we're going to compress this a lot. And we want to do it as for the folder Firefox. Let's press enter. And we're seeing that it is compressing, which is a good sign. So we've compressed this. We're going to need to get this from our end. So let's exit out of here. We want to do cpid i.id rsa. You can see the syntax here from the last time I've done this. So we're going to need the victim's IP. I don't remember it. So I'm just going to go here and just grab it for a second. So we grab the IP. Let's put this in here, and we want to put in last of all where we saved it. So we saved it in the temp directory. We're going to need colon as well, as that's going to be we're going to try to pretty much put the socket as that. I don't know if that's the technical term, but it's a term. So we're going to do tar.gz, and we're going to put a dot again. So let's see, will we be able to download this to our end? This may take a while as well. It is a pretty big file. We can see here it's going to take a little bit, maybe 10 seconds. Actually, it wasn't that bad. So we're going to need to compress this folder first extract it. So to extract this folder, we're going to need to use the tar command, tar xbsf. If you don't know how to extract this, you can pretty much just Google tar, how to extract tar.gz file with tar Linux, and it'll tell you that's how I did it. So the last thing we're going to need to do is run a command. We're going to need something called Firefox Decrypt. I've uninstalled it from my machine, so I can show you how to install it. So we do Firefox. You can see here in decrypt GitHub. So we're just going to put that in, and you can see the official GitHub here. So let's just download this file from this GitHub. We're going to let this page load for a bit. Apologies, my machine is a bit slow. Doing CTFs does take a lot out of my machine. So we're going to download this here. We want to download this file, if this will download. It's downloaded. So we want to do Python 3. And we want to do, I think it's Firefox. Yeah, Firefox Decrypt. And we can see the file here, but before we do that, we're gonna need to change mod. Well, let's go into let's do 777 for Firefox, and we want to cd into Firefox. And if you do ls, we can see the file here, and if you do ls.la, we can see nobody can really write to this file, so decrypt of Firefox will not work. So if you do change mod 777, the file name, and if you back out of this, and if you do Python 3, I think it's decrypt, Firefox decrypt, yeah, and we can see here the Firefox folder and the file here, and we get the password King of England. So that's just the room done. Pretty simple, I think, if I say so myself.